introduce Congressman Goldman.
Thank you, Mr. Ivey. I have some familiarity with impeachment, and I can tell you that this impeachment is an absolute abomination. If the impeachment clause could talk, it would beg for the Republicans to stop shaming its name. There is no treason, there is no bribery, there is no high crime and misdemeanor. You have two completely made-up accusations in a litany of articles of impeachment that simply recite policy disputes because the Republicans do not like how President Biden and Secretary Mayorkas have tried to address the issues at the border. And do you know how much they haven't liked it? There are three significant policy changes that this administration has implemented to streamline the asylum process, reduce the backlog, stop people coming over the border in between ports of entry. And all three of those policies were sued in court by Republican attorneys general. So the Republicans are literally trying to stop the administration from securing the border while they are saying, and so that they can say, that the administration is not securing the border. They are creating this situation, and then they want to blame President Biden. So then we get to the supplemental, and the president offers $14 billion, requests $14 billion to do exactly as what Mr. Correa said, what my colleague, Mr. Thompson, said, which is to provide more resources to the border, to provide more technology, to provide more asylum officers and immigration judges, to reduce the backlog of immigration, to provide $1.4 billion to the Shelter and Services Program, to reimburse cities like mine, New York, which have received more than 100,000 migrants over the last year. That is the only program that is authorized to reimburse cities and localities for money they spend on migration, the Shelter and Services Program. $1.4 billion. Do you know what how much the Republicans have proposed to give to that program? Notwithstanding everything you hear from House Republicans in New York claiming that the federal government, the Biden administration, is not doing enough to help New York City? Zero. They zeroed out the program. And so this is where we are right now. Secretary Mayorkas, for the last 2+ months, has been working overtime, negotiating with a bipartisan group of senators to pass legislation which is required because the administration does not have the authority it needs to do everything to secure the border. We need legislation. And Secretary Mayorkas has been working with Republicans and Democrats in the Senate to come forward with a border policy solution. We're now nearing the end of it, reportedly. No one has seen the bill text. But what is very clear is that Secretary Mayorkas and President Biden have agreed to concessions that Republicans have never gotten before and will never get again, because the administration wants to actually solve the problems at the border. So you'd think the Republicans would jump at the best deal that they've ever gotten. No. No. Donald Trump, Speaker Mike Johnson, are trying to submarine and sabotage this bill, saying it is dead on arrival in the House before they've read the text of it. Why? Because Donald Trump wants to run on the crisis at the border. That is all. They want to use the border as a political cudgel. They do not want to solve the problems at the border. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can just listen to Donald Trump himself, who has repeatedly said it. And so what the House Republicans are doing at the direction of Donald Trump, instead of going over to the Senate and working on those negotiations to pass bipartisan legislation. No, they are impeaching the secretary for failing to secure the border while he is negotiating legislation to secure the border. If that is not irony, I don't know what is. This is a political stunt. It is a sham impeachment designed to give Donald Trump a talking point. The Republicans do not want to solve problems. They want to create chaos because, as Leader Jeffries says, they consistently put politics over people. And we are here to tell everyone in America that we want to address the solutions at the border because we want to secure our homeland and we want to do the work that the American people sent us here to do.